Hello and welcome back to the channel. Very excited to announce my first draft of this upcoming Dream Team season. So let's get started. So on this channel I'm going to start with talking to you about the strikers that I've picked. So usually these videos start with the goalkeeper and the defence, but I'm a little bit unsure 100% on my defence at the moment. So I'm going to start with the players that I'm more sure about at the moment. Okay, so my front line is currently João Pedro, Haaland and Calvert-Lewin. Haaland just doesn't really need talking about, in my opinion, because of his stats. We've talked about them before. He is a machine. The potential problem that may come about is that he's not yet returned to training, has he? So we'll have to see whether he starts the Community Shield, because you never know, he might not be ready to go in the first game. Can you imagine that? And then we're all going to have to change all our teams up. I mean, it will be easy enough to do that, won't it? But for now, let's just assume he is starting. He's going to be locked in this team for the rest of the season. Nothing more to say about Haaland. So let's go to João Pedro next. So he's been priced at £5 million this year. So this is more than he was priced at last season. I think he was very underpriced last season. They've recognised how well he's done last season. He scored 20 goals and provided 9 assists in 50 games. This was a very good record, especially as he shared minutes with Delap, who, as I said, didn't show up. So fantastic record last season. He has also played in pre-season. He has still shared minutes, but Delap again has done nothing. And when Delap started, Pedro's come on. You know, in one game he scored a hat-trick in 9 minutes after he came on for Delap. So I don't think Delap scored a goal, I don't think, in pre-season. And there is talk that he's going to go off loan somewhere, which all just cements Pedro's place in this Chelsea team. I think also he's going to have a great supply line. All those sort of forward placing players behind him. You know, you've got Rodgers, you've got Palmer, and we've got Gittins Sapiev on the left, and we've got Esteval on the right, and then there's new recruits as well. So I think he's going to get a lot of service. Of course, Welbeck has come to the club now, but he's not going to take João Pedro's place. No way. Of course, he might come on to replace Pedro, or he could still come on and Pedro could drop to number 10. We've seen that before if Palmer or Rodgers needs a break. But I don't think Welbeck really needs to be used that much this season. I mean, Chelsea are not in Europe, are they? So, you know, João Pedro is going to be playing less games, and I think he can sort of play one game a week quite easily. Probably Welbeck will come in and play the cup game, so Pedro may be a risk, you know, when there's sort of a double game week with cup fixtures. But I think on the whole, he's pretty nailed. His stats are great. And they start the season with a few good fixtures. Fulham away, Brighton at home. Then they do play against Arsenal, so that might be a time to perhaps consider changing him a little bit, but we will cross that bridge when we come to it. So we move on to Calvert-Lewin. So I was very impressed when I looked into his stats. Last season, he scored 14 goals in 35 matches. Now that's crazy. So he was averaging 0.4 goals per game. He only provided 1 assist in that time, but we're not buying in for the assists necessarily. The goals are the ones that score the points. 6 points for a goal, 3 points for an assist. So great record. He only started one game in he only played in one game in the EFL Cup. So we can assume that he's probably not going to play, certainly in the early stages of the cup games. They have Nemecha who can come in to do the striker role in those games, and I expect he would. He has already started in pre-season as well and scored a goal. as has Calvert-Lewin. So Calvert-Lewin, he missed the first couple of pre-season games, but he's come on in the third game against Liverpool when they were trailing, and he's scored 2 goals and helped Leeds to win that game against Liverpool. So yeah, he's clearly he's fit and firing and ready to carry on the great record from last season. Calvert-Lewin, he's also on penalties, so he's got that extra route to goal there. And on the whole, he stayed fit really for the majority of last season. He has had a few injuries over the years, but seemed to be okay for the most part last season. So Leeds, they start with the opening game going away to Nottingham Forest. Then they have a home game against Brentford, and then they go away to Brighton. So it is 2 away matches in the first 3, but after that they have 2 home matches against Newcastle and Palace, so they're really good fixtures as well. So his price tag is only 3.5 million, which I think is underpriced given his stats last season. And he's a starter, and he has, I think, 5 great games to start the season. So hopefully he can hit the ground running, start earning some points, help build up my squad value, and then maybe when sort of Europe comes around, we move him on to players that are also in Europe. But let's just wait and see. I'm very happy with this front line. On to the midfield. So we'll start with Fernandes. If you've watched my Essential Players video, I said he was essential, and he still is essential. I also said I thought he would be priced near 7 million, and he has been. I think last season he was sort of 6.5, but he wasn't in Europe with Manchester United, and he was still racking up so many points. So it's another thing that they've recognised, and it doesn't surprise me that he's priced at 7 million, but I just have to go there. His stats last season: 9 goals and 22 assists in 37 appearances. So he is the assist man. Scored the most number of assists out of any player in the Premier League last season. And at times he was playing deeper last season, and he's still coming up with these assists because he was on free kicks, penalties, corners, etc. Now Manchester United, they've got new midfielders to replace Casemiro in Santos and Tielemans. I expect Fernandes will be much further forward in the number 10, and potentially he could improve on these stats even more. And Manchester United are in Europe, so he's going to be playing more games, you would expect. I mean, he never picks up an injury, and he always plays. So I think his points potential is huge this season. So very exciting times ahead. He starts with a great few fixtures with Manchester United against Hull away, Ipswich at home, and Everton away. So an absolute lock in my team. This is not going to change unless he miraculously gets injured, which is very rare, isn't it? So yeah, lock in my team. Next, we move on to Solis. So he has been Arsenal's new big signing. £34 million they spent on him. He's primarily a left winger. I've already spoken about him in a previous video as sort of one to watch, because his stats last season for Club Brugge was incredible. He scored 22 goals and provided 29 assists in 52 appearances. You really did hear that right. Now, he's already sort of played in pre-season, and he scored a goal. Apparently he's also been on set pieces because Rice has not sort of returned to pre-season training yet, or games at least. So, maybe he will take over the set piece duty, or half the duty with Declan Rice. We'll just have to see. But set pieces or not, he clearly has potential. Trossard's gone now. They've got this guy in clearly to replace him, and I think eventually he will be favoured, of course, over Martinelli, who didn't always play last season. Trossard was favoured really over Martinelli. So I think with all things considered and the hefty hefty price tag they've paid for Solis, although I think it's a very, very good deal compared to other players that have been sold for crazy prices. I think they've got a real gem of a player here. I want to start with him. Obviously, I'm not sure that he's going to start. He'll certainly come off the bench if he doesn't start. We do get to see the lineups for the first match, because Arsenal play Coventry in the first match. It's at like 8 o'clock, and that's where the deadline for the first game week. So he will be in my team until that point that I know whether he's in the team or not, and then I'll have to decide a bit of a plan in advance should he not start the game. But I could risk it. Because I think he will come on at some point, unless Arsenal get completely carried away against Coventry and score about 5 goals, where they could put on some sort of lesser known players. So still lots to consider. Arsenal have a okay fixture run, actually. Coventry at home, Villa away, and Chelsea at home. So actually, yeah, it's okay, but I want an Arsenal attacker in my team for that first game, and I have no assurity over the strikers in Gyökeres and Havertz. Who's going to start? Are they going to share minutes? Where are they going to play? So I'm absolutely not going with the strike force for Arsenal until we get some clarity on that situation. So I think Solis is a route into the attacking numbers, hopefully, that Arsenal will get in this first game. Next, we move on to Harry Wilson. So he's been signed by Leeds. He played for Fulham last season, primarily sort of a right winger. He scored 10 goals and provided 7 assists in 39 matches. So really good numbers, and I'm actually surprised. I thought maybe he'd provide more assists than goals, but he actually scored more goals than assists last season. But he has been priced very, very reasonable. 3.5 million. I think it's a great price, and I think he's going to be a great servant to Calvert-Lewin, who is also in my team, of course, by way of providing assists for Calvert-Lewin. I'm hoping Calvert-Lewin is great at putting the ball in the back of the net with his head, and I can foresee plenty of opportunities that Wilson will use his left foot to curl across into the box, and hopefully Calvert-Lewin scores many of those. So he's also on free kicks. Well, he was on free kicks and corners and things for Fulham. He may or may not be. I think Stack was on them for Leeds last season, but he's great for them. So I think he will take some. Let me know in the comments what you think about Wilson and taking free kicks for Leeds this season. Leeds have a great first few fixtures: Forest away, Brentford at home, and then Brighton away. And he's just a cheap enabler. You know, he's going to start, and he's got great potential for some attacking returns. And lastly, we're going to talk about Mbeumo. So if you've seen a previous video that I've made, when the prices came out for some players, Mbeumo was priced at £4.5 million. And when I'd compared him to Florian Wirtz, who was priced at £5 million, I found that their output last season was pretty much similar. And Mbeumo scored more goals than Wirtz last season. And despite all of that, Mbeumo's been priced at £500,000 cheaper than Wirtz. I think £4.5 million for Mbeumo is a steal, considering his stats. So he scored 12 goals and provided 3 assists and 34 appearances last season. I think this is incredible, really, because he primarily plays sort of right wing, but he can play up front. But he mostly played right wing, right? But despite that, he scored 4 times as many goals as he did assists last season from the wing. So he's more of a goal threat, clearly, and you get more points for goals in this game. We have seen he can go up front, and he has been going up front in pre-season. He also started up front in a pre-season game recently, and he scored 2 goals, including he took 1 penalty as well and scored that. So great stats. 1 return in 3 last season. He's nailed in this team. Manchester United are in Europe this season. He's going to be playing more games. There's going to be more routes to points. So the only slight concern is that he's probably going to share minutes with Diallo. So either it's going to be a like-for-like switch, maybe partway through a game, or Mbeumo might remain on the pitch and go up front and Diallo comes on. So that's just something to consider. But for this price tag, I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. He's going to start in my team for this season. So starting with defence, I've got Maguire for Manchester United. He's been priced at £3.5 million, and he has a great first 3 fixtures in Hull away, Ipswich at home, and Everton away. So 2 promoted teams to start the season for Manchester United. I think he's nailed in this team. He was at the end of last season, and he started and played in all 3 of Manchester United's pre-season games under Carrick. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be nailed in this team. He has a bit of goal threat. I mean, he only scored 2 goals and provided 2 assists last season, but he didn't always start. He didn't always play as many minutes as I feel he will do this season. And now Casemiro's gone as well. I think he will be more of a goal threat this season because he will be more of the focal point for routes to goals. So I think he can improve on the stats. I mean, it's not why he's in my team, really. Yes, he's got that slight upside, perhaps, over picking, let's say, another Man United defender. But I'm really, the main reason putting him in the team is that he's very reasonably priced, and I'm hoping to get the clean sheet points against those first 3 teams in the first 3 games. So, yeah, that's Maguire. Then we move on to Mosquera for Arsenal. Now, look, I've said I want Gabriel, and I still might get Gabriel. But since the prices have been out and I've realised he's £5.5 million, that is a lot of money, and it's £1 million more than Mosquera. What are the differences this season then between them both? I mean, Mosquera didn't always start last season, but now Saliba's injured, he's very, very likely to start. And I think he's more nailed than sort of the fullbacks that perhaps have more attacking threats, but there's no guarantee of the minutes. And what I don't want is to include a player that might not start or doesn't play most of the game, because then I risk sort of not building up my points potential and building up my squad value. So I will go with the safer pick in Mosquera, but you're not sort of getting any goal threat whatsoever with him. I mean, he scored no goals and provided no assists in 32 games that he was involved in last season. So absolutely 0 attacking threat. So I am still a little bit unsure about whether he's going to be in my team. It's one of the other. It's either I save the million and hope that he gets the first clean sheet in that first game, or I invest £1 million in extra in Gabriel, who I know I'm going to get in my team as soon as I can and keep him in my team for the rest of the season, who has a little bit more goal threat, a bit more upside. But is £1 million difference worth it for the stats that Gabriel got last season? He was associated with, a high scoring defender, wasn't he? But it was actually the joint 4th highest defender for goals last season in the Premier League. So, he's not the top goal scoring defender. He scored 4 goals and provided 5 assists last season in 51 appearances. It was basically like, 1 in 10 games he'd got a goal, and 1 in 10 games he got an assist. So, it was 0.17 goals/assists per game. So the stats aren't great really from the attacking side, and I'm thinking, is this worth the extra 1 million? I mean, if he was 5 million, Gabriel, he would be in this team, but 5.5. We've got Munoz. I think he's priced at 5 million this year, and he's got way more attacking potential, but he doesn't have the clean sheets. He's not going to be as good for the clean sheets this season. So, yeah, lots to weigh up at the moment. This is probably going to change, but this is where I stand at the moment. And then I've just had to sort of fill in a third defender at a low price point. I do have 0.5 million in the bank at the moment, so I can upgrade Hume if needed, but he's obviously plays for Sunderland, and he has a great first three fixtures: Ipswich away, Fulham at home, and Brentford away. He is primarily a right back, but I've heard in pre-season he's been playing further forward and chipping in with some attacking returns. I think it's been recognised he's already 2.58% owned on the app website at the moment at time of recording. So he's just an enabler at the moment, and he could well come out of this team, but he's in there for now with some good fixtures and potential attacking threat. For my goalkeeper, I am currently going with Kelleher for Brentford. He's been priced at £3 million, and they have three okay fixtures to start, I would say. So Tottenham at home. Tottenham, it's obviously not the best it could be, but it is a home fixture. It is the first game of the season. They'll have the crowd behind him, so you never know. The second and third fixtures for Brentford are Leeds and Sunderland, so two good fixtures there. The plan would be to move him to Raya at some point when my budget increases for the predominantly the rest of the season, but at the moment I just can't fit Raya in the team. So I'm going with a cheap goalkeeper and hoping that he will increase in price. Brentford have Europe this season, so they are going to be playing more games, so there's more reach to points. I do expect Kelleher to be the goalkeeper for Brentford in Europe, but he probably won't be their goalkeeper for the cup games, but that's okay. That's fairly standardised across the Premier League teams that have European competitions as well. So yeah, that completes my team. So on the next page we'll summarise my first draft. So there you have it, my game week 1 first draft. I'm very happy with it. I think it's about 2/3 of the way there. Of course, a lot can change. There may be new signings, there may be injuries. And just a note on the captain choice. So I'm going with Haaland to start as captain choice at home fixtures with Bournemouth, and with Fernandes vice captain away at Hull. If there are any concerns regarding Haaland's minutes, whether he is not starting and perhaps just comes on halfway through a game, if there's any risk of that happening, I will be going with Fernandes. So that's how it stands. So I'll update you in about a week's time maybe if there are any changes. So I'll see you on the next one.